Christ was a black man.
That's right.
According to the Bible. It said it was so dark as if it burned in a furnace. We just read King Solomon was a black man with black locks. How many, come on, give me the Father, give me God. Let's see how God look. Let's see how God look. Now I'll be able to tell my children. I'm able to tell my children to today that God is a black man. I'm able to tell my children that Jesus is a black man. I'm able to say those things. Why? Because I'm getting it from the Bible. Don't let nobody talk y'all out of the Bible, sis. The Bible is your book. Something fine. Why you want to turn up on your brother? Why you want to turn up on your brother? Why you want to turn up on your sister? Because he telling you the greatest people on earth? No, because you don't want to do what God say. You don't want to do what God say according to the Bible. That's why. That stuff bores me up. I almost lost my voice trying to even speak about it. How can a brother just sit there and a sister say, look, I'm going to turn up on you because you teaching love. I can't stand y'all out here teaching love. I can't stand y'all out here telling that we the greatest people on earth. The so-called Native American Indians, the Hispanics, and the Negroes are the greatest people on earth. Thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
Thus saith the Lord. That's right. If you're in the corners, you can hear it. God said you're the greatest people on earth, my sister.
That's right.
My sister that going towards the dumpster. He said you're the greatest people on earth. But you got people that don't like that. You got people that don't want you to be the greatest people on earth.
Right.
Now what you gonna do about it? You gotta come closer to God. Come closer to God. Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. God says love your neighbor in your mind. It starts with your mind. We would rather argue with each other. In our mind, we would rather argue with each other about a book that was not even written from me nor you. Right.
It was not written from me nor you, but you want to argue about it. Right. God says love thy neighbor. Love them within your mind. It starts with your mind. We got to get our minds right. We're reading from the Bible. We ain't make that up. We got a lot of brothers and sisters walking around with the Bible, right? They got the Bible in their hand. We're just reading from the same book you're reading from. Right. Why the hostility? Psalms 19 and 7. I'm going to show you the hostility. Psalms 19 and 7. What time we got? We get another teacher. Right. I wanted to converse with the brother, but he man, you ain't talking about shit. Stuff like that. I want to converse with my brother. That's what we out here for. We out here to converse with our people. Right. I can't force him to believe in nothing. He can't force me to believe in nothing. But we're going to come out here and converse with each other like brothers. Right. We're going to come out here and converse with our sisters like brothers and sisters. Right. We're not going to get upset with each other. Right. We're not going to hold grudges with each other. Right. That's what God wants us to do. If you can't do that, you ain't talking about nothing. Right. If you can't treat your brother right, no, man, give me that. 1 Corinthians 13. Knowledge puff it up. Hey. Yes, sir. God said, if you learn so much, you get all puffed up, you get all high and mighty, you act like you don't know how to treat your brothers and sisters. It don't matter how much knowledge you know or what you think you know. God said, if you don't have love, you ain't got nothing. Let's see what the Bible says. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up. What did knowledge do? Knowledge puffeth up. What did knowledge do? Knowledge puffeth up. God said knowledge puffeth up. You think you know everything. Right. Because you lack something. Right. God said knowledge puffeth up. It gives you a big head. Right. Watch this. But charity. But what? But charity. But what? But charity. God said but charity. Charity means love. Right. God said knowledge puffeth up. But charity, which is love, come on. But charity, edifying. It does what? Edifying. It does what? Edifying. God said love teaches. Right. You're supposed to teach people how to be and how not to be. Right. God said love teaches. And we're going to see who's right when Christ come back. Bring it up. Oh, Christ prophesies there'll be wars. I want to do your source prophesies wars. Right. I want to do your source prophesy great people in the last days. 9 out of 10, I bet your source don't prophesize that. But the source that we believe in prophesies all these things. It even prophesies your slavery. That's right. It prophesies you going into slavery. It even prophesies you serving a so-called white man today.
Right.
The Bible prophesies it.
That's right.
What has your source prophesied? Not a doggone thing, because it's false.
Read. And if any man think he knoweth anything, come on, he knoweth nothing. Come on. That as he ought to know. Come on. But if any man love God,
If he do what?
but if any man love God,
If any man love God, meaning to keep his commandments. If I ask the sisters or my brothers right now, do you love God? You're going to say yeah. But God said in order to love him, you got to keep the commandments.
that's right.
God said keep the commandments if you love him. But everybody love God. Sister don't want to put on a dress, maybe. She might repent and put on the dress. We hope she put on the dress.
Right.
We don't even acknowledge that today is God's Sabbath day.
Right.
Today is God's Sabbath day, and you're ignorant of that. You don't know that. But we think we know everything. That's why we're in these conditions. You're supposed to be ruling America by now.
Right.
You're supposed to be ruling the whole world.
Right.
But we have hatred for one another.
Read. But if any man love God, the same is known of him. As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice.
Give me that in 1 Corinthians 13. Let's say what God say when you ain't got no love for your brother. Let's see what God say when you ain't got no love for him. When you don't want to teach your brother right from wrong, you just want to go off philosophies and what you think is right. Come on. 13 about charity, edify. The tingling, is that 2 Corinthians? Come on.
2 Corinthians.
No, that might be it.
No, 1 Corinthians.
Come on.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. Though I speak with tongues of men.
So this is Paul speaking. He said, look, though I speak with tongues of men, tongues mean different languages. That means different languages. You smart enough to teach different languages. Okay, come on.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity.
God said you can speak with different languages and the tongues of angels, but have not what?
And have not charity.
Come on.
I am become as a sounding brass.
God said you just making noise. You just making noise if you don't have the love for my brothers and sisters. God said you're just making noise. You find an opportunity to make everybody mad. You find an opportunity to go to door. You find an opportunity to go to ear to ear. Ear to ear. Walk around up and down, going ear to ear, making noises in people's ears. God said if you lack love, that's what you're doing. We out here to teach love. To teach you that you're the greatest people on this earth, my black people. That's who you are. You're the Israelites.
That's right.
The white man don't want you to know that. And some of your people don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that because they know you're going to change. See, a lot of brothers like smashing these sisters out here. Uh-oh. A lot of them love smashing y'all sisters.
Right.
They know if men start obeying the Bible, men ain't going to want to smash their sisters no more. A lot of sisters like smoking weed. A lot of sisters like that rod from them brothers. They know that if we start keeping the commandments, she can't bounce up and down on that rod no more. That's what they don't want to do. Right. They don't want to change.
Teach.
You don't want to change. You ain't playing me nor God. You don't want to change your ways. You want to get high. You want to fornicate. You want to commit adultery. You want to rob. You want to sell dope. That's what our people want to do. But when the Bible comes out, you know you got to change.
Read. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I can remove mountains, and I have not charity.
God said you can have all the faith, you can have all the knowledge, but if you don't have what?
And I have not charity.
You are what?
I am nothing.
God said you are what?
I am nothing.
God said you are what?
I am nothing.
God said you're what?
I am nothing.
God said if you ain't got love, you ain't nothing.
That's right.
That's what God says. You better learn how to love God, because that's what your God that created you said. We believe in all these African folks, all these African tales, all these African traditions,
right?
These American traditions. Where's the prophecies in those things? Where's the past, present, and future in those things? Where are they at? Where's your source that you believe so heavily in? How is it what? Progressing your people. What are you doing? Are you out here cleaning the neighborhoods? Are you bringing up the young men and women, giving them what workshops to do? Teaching them things to do with their hands, with their minds? Are you doing that? No. You're not doing those things because you lack what? Started from the top.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains, And I have not charity.
You lack what?
I have not charity.
You lack love. That's why your actions, you don't have no actions, because you lack love.
That's right.
It's not to beat on you. It's to show you that God is telling you you don't have love. You may be sharp. You may be knowledgeable, but you don't have the love of God. The love of God are actions. They don't just talk the talk. They walk the walk. They progress in cleaning up the community. How many community cleanups we done did? We done did a lot of community cleanups. How many events we done went to teach the young prophets, teach the young men, teach the young women. That's what we out here to do. Psalms 19:7. Read on.
And though I bestow all goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profited me nothing.
God say on the day of judgment, it ain't profit you nothing. You learned all that stuff, but you never learned how to love your brother. You never learned how to love your sister. You never learned that. You never learned those things. God said it profit you nothing. Now go back to because I see somebody else listening. Go back to Deuteronomy 7:6. I'm going to show you how great you are. How God say how great you are. Let me get King Solomon, Songs of Solomon 5:11. Listen up. King Solomon was a black man that had locks in his head. I'm going to show you that in the Bible. Read. Songs of Solomon 5:11. Songs of Solomon 1:5 and 5:11. Whenever you get it. King Solomon looked just like me and you. This is love that I'm showing you, because the white man has taught you how to hate yourself.
Right.
They said Jesus got blonde hair and blue eyes. That's a lie. The Bible says Jesus is a black man. He looked just like your daddy. He looked just like your granddad. That's how Jesus looked. Read.
The book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. I am black.
What King Solomon say?
I am black.
You see, King Solomon didn't waste no time like other people come and waste your time. King Solomon said, I am black. What else he say?
But calmly.
But beautiful. I'm black and I'm beautiful. That's what King Solomon said. That's Songs of Solomon 1 and 5. That's in your Bible that your grandma got up on her table. Songs of Solomon 1 and 5. He said what?
I am black.
Come on.
But calmly.
Come on.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
Oh, you daughters of whom?
Of Jerusalem.
The daughters of Jerusalem are Israelites.
That's right.
The women were black. King Solomon is black. Come on.
As the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Tents of Kedar. That's going into what? African nations. They black as well. He's comparing himself. How black he is. Now let's see his hair. You touch your hair. Don't you got braids in your head? You got locks? Let's see what type of hair King Solomon had. 5 and 11. Come on.
The book of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 11. His head is as the most fine gold.
God said what's on top of King Solomon's head is gold. He said whatever is on King Solomon's head is going to be gold. Let's see what was on his head. Come on.
His locks.
His what?
His locks.
His what?
His locks.
See, y'all didn't know that was in the Bible. Locks are in the Bible. His locks. King Solomon had locks. We call them dreadlocks. King Solomon had locks. How you gonna sit there and say that color don't matter? That's how we know people are. When people come to us and tell us that color don't matter, we know that they off. But we don't bust them on the head because we was once off.
Right.
I once didn't know that. I once thought that Jesus was white. I once thought that God was white. I once thought that. So we don't beat our people up on the head. We try to teach them. We try to teach them, but they end up trying to disrespect us for telling them that they're the most beautiful people on earth.
That's right.
King Solomon, we're reading from the Bible, my sister. King Solomon had locks in his head, and he's a black man. These are the things the pastors are not teaching. We just out here to teach our people this stuff. Read it again.
His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy.
His locks are what?
His locks are bushy.
Look at those beautiful princesses. They got the locks and braids in their head. King Solomon had what in his hand?
His locks.
His what?
His locks are bushy.
Come on.
And black as a raven.
What color?
And black as a raven.
Color. Your ancestors are in the Bible. God said King Solomon, what was on his head was gold. God called that gold what was on King Solomon's head. What was on King Solomon's head was black locks. So what that young prince is pulling, oh, that prince, that's a young princess. What she putting on her head is gold. That's gold. God calls that gold.
That's right.
That's what we out here teaching, to uprise our people. Read it again from the top.
His head is as the most fine gold.
You see that God looked at King Solomon's head and said his head, what's on his head is gold. You know why he say that? Because he's made in the image. The Father in Jesus looked like King Solomon.
Right.
Your granddaddy and daddy is made in the image of God. They're made in the image of Jesus. I'm going to prove that to you. Revelation 1 and 14. Revelation 1 and 14. What color is Jesus Christ? Let's see. Let's see what color is Jesus Christ. Come on.
The book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
You heard that word wool. Who on the people on this earth got woolly hair? Touch your head. You got woolly hair all up on your head, my sisters. Woolly hair all up on your head. But when you go into church, they have this image.
Right.
They have a white man on the wall. Why? Because that edification, that teaching comes from Satan. Satan gonna teach the opposite of the Bible.
Right.
That was part of our punishment. Part of our punishment, we will be taught lies. Come on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes was a flame of fire. And his feet.
And his feet. When you look at your feet will be the same color of your face. Your feet will be the same color of your face. Come on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color?
Fine brass.
What color?
Fine brass.
You heard that, my sister. Christ's feet is like unto fine brass. What's the color of brass? That would be a color of a penny. So how can he be a white man? It's describing how he looked. Brass, B-R-A-S-S. He said that his feet is the color of brass. Now let's see how dark that brass is. Come on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
How black was it?
As if they burned in a furnace.
Christ was a black man.
That's right.
According to the Bible. It said it was so dark as if he burned in a furnace. We just read King Solomon was a black man with black locks. How many? Come on, give me the Father. Give me God. Let's see how God look. Let's see how God look. Now I'll be able to tell my children. I'm able to tell my children to today that God is a black man. I'm able to tell my children that Jesus is a black man. I'm able to say those things. Why? Because I'm getting it from the Bible. Don't let nobody talk y'all out of the Bible, sis. The Bible is your book. Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones was cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Who wants to know how God look? Is this speaker high enough? Who wants to know how God look? There you go.
That's right.
We're going to read it, okay? I'm going to read it for you.
I beheld till the thrones was cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days is before everything. That's what it means by the Ancient of Days. He's before everything. He made everything. So he sat down. So this person that they read about, in order to sit down, you got to have what? A behind. So he got a body. So he was sitting down, come on.
Whose garment was white as snow.
In order to put a garment on, you got to have what? You got to have some shoulders. You got to have a chest. You got to have a back. You got to have some arms. So God got a back. He got some arms. He got a behind to sit down on. Let's see what else. Come on.
And the hair of his head.
He also got what?
And the hair of his head.
God also got hair. God got hair. He's sitting on the throne with his garment on. God has hair. Come on.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
What type of hair he had?
Like the pure wool.
Touch your hair. God, the Bible said God has pure wool on his head.
That's
God
right.
got the same hair texture you got. He got the same hair texture you got.
Right.
It has what?
The hair of his head like the pure wool.
What color is he? Come on.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
10 and 10. 10 and 6. So God has the same woolly hair you have. He has a body. He got the same hair texture hair that you have. Don't you got woolly hair? The white man don't have woolly hair. Chinese man don't have woolly hair. A woolly hair. What animal has wool hair? What animal do you think has woolly hair? What's your name? Maya? What animal do you think has woolly hair? A sheep. When you look at a sheep hair, it has hair like wool. That's your hair. White people hair can't do that. Chinese people hair can't do that. Only your hair can curl up. A sheep has woolly hair. God has the same hair you have. Come on.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
So he's walking around with a linen with gold on. That's why y'all like gold so much. That's why we like to put the gold around our neck. That's why you like to put the gold in your ears. See, y'all don't know, because the pastor ain't teaching that, how God and Christ and them are living up there. They are alive up there. They made this. You think this is it? Really? They made this. They're up there living right now. They're living and they're waiting on you to get yourself together. Read it.
His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet.
And his arms and his feet, it's about to tell you what color his arms and his feet are. Come on.
Like in color.
Like in color, it has a color to it. Come on.
To polished brass.
To what?
Polished brass.
To what?
Polished brass.
The Bible said Christ, God, our Father, these men have the color of brass. You ever seen a penny? That's the color of brass.
Right.
That's how they look. They are colored-skinned people.
Right.
In the Revelation 1:14, it says Christ was so black as if he burned in a furnace. That's a black man. That's Wesley Snipes black. That's what the Bible said Jesus looked like. Now let me show you all that you all are royalty. You all, give me that in Peter's. Give me that in Peter's. Yes, sir. I'm going to show y'all that y'all are royalty. Do you know that you are derived from kings and princesses? Do you know that you come from kings, my sisters and brothers? That's where you come from. Do you know that Christ's bloodline is in you? Right. Christ's bloodline is in you. Everybody don't have Christ's bloodline. Huh? Everybody don't have Christ's bloodline in them. Read.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
You see that? God said we are a royal priesthood. We're royal people. Don't ever teach your children that they're not royal. Just because we're on punishment right now, because God is allowing them to be over us. That's all going on. Don't ever teach them that they're not royalty. They derive from Christ. The prophecies in the Bible say we will go through these things. But the next thing to come is the kingdom of heaven. We're going to rule. After our kingdom, there will be no other kingdom. Did you know that, my sister? Did you know when our kingdom comes, there will be no other kingdom after our kingdom? That would be it. It's going to go back to how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to rule over the white man. You're supposed to rule over the Chinese. I know. Watch this. Give me that. I know that's a big statement. You're like, what? Are you crazy? Deuteronomy 28 and 1. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to read it from the Old Testament and the New Testament. That's why God wants us to get ourselves together. He wants us to prepare ourselves to what? To rule the world in righteousness. That don't mean abuse people. It's in righteousness. We was made to lead the world in righteousness. We're supposed to teach the world not to fornicate. Right. Me and you supposed to teach the world not to be homosexuals. Right. Me and you supposed to teach the world not how to defile their bodies. Right. That's why we was made, my sister. But let me read this, come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
You know what that means when it said, and it shall come to pass? That means Moses is future prophesizing. He's future prophesizing. Stay with me, sis, come on.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
You see that? Don't read so fast. God will do what?
The Lord thy God will set thee on high.
You heard that, my sister? God said he's going to set us on high. How high on who? Watch this.
Above all nations.
I told you I wasn't making it up. People think we're making up stuff. God said that the Israelites will be set above all nations. Right. God said we will go into slavery. Did we not go into slavery? Did we go into slavery, y'all? We went into slavery, correct? We went into slavery, right, sis? We went into slavery. That's in the Bible. So why the other part can't come true? The slavery part came true, that we would go into slavery. Give me that in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. That came true. But why the part when we going to rule the kingdom of heaven, that we going to rule this earth, why that can't come true? Why I can't be great? Why we can't rule the... Look, Why we got to submit ourselves? We pay taxes to the white man. We cool with that. But when somebody's speaking about us ruling the earth, oh no, that can't be. That can't be, not us, not black people. Because that's how we've been taught. God is reteaching us that you are royal. All you have to do is keep the commandments. He just wants you to do as he spoke about doing. He wants the woman to come back to being a princess. He wants the sisters to dress like princesses again. The beautiful young princess right there has the dress on. That's all he wanted from them to do.
Right.
That's it.
Bring it out.
Now, is that harming that young princess? Is that harming her? Is that dress harming her? It's not harming her in any way whatsoever. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
God said that in a future prophecy, he will bring us here with ships. How did we get over here? What transportation we used? What transportation did they use? You said boats, right? Let's read it again slowly.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
What transportation?
With ships.
I told you, your history is in the Bible. It's not talking about everybody's history. It's not talking about the white man's history. It's not talking about the Chinese man's history. It's talking about your history. It's talking about your slavery. That's how we know that we are the Israelites. Because the prophecy in the Bible. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold.
Were we not sold? Were we not sold, sis? We were sold, right? Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
You see that? God said, I'm going to take you, I'm going to allow them to take you off ships and sell you as slave men and slave women. We're not making it up. We know the history. Let's read it again.
And the Lord, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt just means slavery. The children of Israel were slaves in Egypt. Egyptians are so-called Africans. Come on, stay with me, sis. Come on.
With ships. Come on. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there,
when you get off those ships, and there, come on,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
God don't call them your friends. He called them your enemies. These people, that's why they lie to you and say Jesus is like a white man. Right. God looks like a white man. They're your enemies.
Talents. And that's what it's about. We come together, we learn
the truth is a war, brothers and sisters, okay?
Shout out to the issues. Before I read your letters,
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word.